What's up, everyone? Welcome back to A Line of the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we're back today with another episode of the Eaglemoss Enterprise D from Fanhome. I haven't said that in a long time. I don't know where that came from, but it's true. It is the Eaglemoss Enterprise D from Fanhome, and we're here marching on into the second half of the build. Now, I believe we reached at stage 65. At stage 60, actually. We reached the 50% mark. And as we've kind of moved forward, I've been getting my head around how this model is actually going to be built. And we're going to be spending a lot more time on the saucer section than the engineering section. And it just kind of goes to show like how big the saucer section of this ship really is, as each strip requires, basically each one of these superstructure pieces is going to get 6 different hull panels attached to it. And in order to create a strip from the center down, it is 3 hull panels, and then you're going to only build one at a time. And so there's going to be a lot of time spent on the saucer section. But today we do get to do a little bit of work on the engineering section, and that's going to be in stage 71. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to stage 71 and start to make sense of some of the new way of installing some LEDs and then working on the engineering section. All right, so I have already kind of opened these parts, and I opened the parts for a demonstration. I don't know what to tell you. I needed. I was testing Mike Lane's Test Circuit Pro, and I needed a 2-prong LED, and so I went ahead and pulled this one out. So I have already kind of opened this one a little bit here, but not too much. And boy, oh boy, do I really need to replace my number 11 blade here. It is pretty bad. I cut and then had to actually pry open. All right, let's go ahead and get everything out. Can I get everything out? Excellent. A piece that I'm not going to use, but I do want to have it out here. All right. And those pieces that I'm talking about are these right here. So kind of hard to pick out, but there's like 2 little raised details on there with a screw hole right there. What those go to are right here in those spots. Now, obviously, for this back section, I've already resin painted and done up the windows for the section we're working on. But what I also did was do resin through there as well. So I went ahead and filled each one of these with resin and then cured it up, and then went ahead and painted and light blocked the back so that it creates that look there. And it takes care of a lot of the light blocking because there's a lot of light that kind of pours into the engineering section from all these hull panels that are put in place. So that is what those are and why we remove those. And let's go ahead and get the rest of our parts. Oh, nope. The rest of our parts taken out. We have our dual LED, the 4-prong. We have our single LED, which is a 2-prong LED. We have our AM, FM, and BP screws. So let's go ahead and get all of those out. All right, we have our window panel section, which we are not going to use. Oh, this is a nice piece of clear acrylic. Definitely, I'm saving all this stuff that I'm not using, and I will probably use it for other purposes later on. And then we have the reflector, which we will be using. And that's going to be for the engineering section as well. So we'll see how all that fits into place. And then from there, we have our next superstructure piece for the saucer section. Oh boy. And there it is. And as you can see, if you look along the side here, you can see how it works. It like starts out the center and then works down the slope of the saucer itself, and then flattens out right here at deck number 11. So this is very cool. It's a very cool piece. And what we're going to be doing, and as I alluded to in the intro, we're going to be installing an LED on this before we put it onto the saucer in order to kind of help with the process a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab this piece, and let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit here. There we go. And then right here at the top, with it flipped up and this opening sitting up, we're going to install this. Oh, actually, those little no, Jordan. I was completely wrong. These are for the LEDs. Never mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the LED and we're going to create a semicircle. Just like so. With the LED pointed up, obviously. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to slot the LED right there. And then we're going to take this piece that I said didn't exist. And we're going to fix this over the top. Just like so. And then we're going to use one AM screw. And as a reminder, we're going to go into 3-in-1 oil for this model to help ease the screws into their spots. Oh, and of course, I needed the screw to stay in its holder. Might be time to remagnetize. I hate that, though. I hate having to remagnetize. How about you guys? Do you guys like to remagnetize your screwdrivers? Do you like how extra magnetized it winds up being? I certainly don't. Okay. That started. I kind of tighten up my LEDs around inside this bracket. And I'm going to tighten this all the way down. And in the process, holds the LED into place. Excellent. Very cool. All right, so now let's go ahead and grab the saucer section. Getting all this out of the way. And we're going to be installing this right in this area right here. Okay. So we're going to need to be conscious of our wires and where they're going. So first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape, using a little bit of my Tamiya tape, is I'm going to tape the formation light over there into place, just so it doesn't move around. Now what we need to do is get this put into place and test fit and see where we have some obstructions. There seems to be some obstructions in this area, so I'm going to go ahead and run my wires back a little bit here. You definitely don't want to pinch any wires here. We can avoid it. And then what you're going to see down here is this needs to slide underneath the frame section next to it. Okay, that's in place. Okay, go through here. Make sure all my wires are not pinching. Okay, so I believe I got this in place where I don't have any wires pinching. I think it's sitting in between, maybe up here a little bit. There we go. Okay. And what I'm going to do is route this down in through here. And then plug this into this plug over here on PCB3. There we go. Get that tucked down and in. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to start with 4 FM screws. And we're going to go along the lower level here. And I'm going to be continually checking to make sure that I'm not pinching any wires. Starting over here. We're not going to be tightening all the way down, okay? We're just going to tighten just a little bit to start getting these secure, because if we do catch up on something, we want to make sure that we're not pinching anything off, and we want to give room for things to kind of flex and move. Okay. I'll zoom back out a little bit here. There we go. And for whatever reason, this one is having a tough time staying in place. Where's it screwing in now? Okay, there we go. Then, right in between here, we're going to go ahead and do one AM screw. Joins the two here together. Excellent. And then using 8 BM screws, which I don't think came in my package because I've been opening things for a while. So let me go ahead and grab my screw case. Don't worry, we have plenty of BM screws. There we go. And using 8 BM screws, and I went ahead and just gave a quick little magnetization on my screwdriver there. We're going to go ahead and hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go ahead and take care of those, and I'll be right back. All right, our last screw is going into place. There we go. Excellent. And I'm just going to go ahead and run through and tighten up all of our screws now. Feel pretty confident that everything is put in place there. All right, those are all put in place. Another frame section is put on. Excellent. Wanted to ensure that that didn't come out, and I taped it, and it came out anyway. All right. Excellent. So now let's go ahead and grab our other LED and our bracket. All right. It's like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the green and yellow LED, and we're going to do this little fancy bend thing here. Create one of these. Okay. Just like that. Want to make sure we're straightening out the LED. That's one of the things I've noticed. The LED kind of pointing in one general direction. Just like so. Okay. Now what we're going to do is find the LED notch right here. So, not this LED, but this LED. Okay. This is from stage 65. What we need to do is do that bend. Okay. I was like, wait, hold on. And we're going to route this through and underneath. And where do you come from? Where did you go, Cotton Eye Joe? Go ahead and route this through here. And then there's going to be a gap. Not a whole lot of room to play with here, but there is a gap in between the frame here. Go and grab the LED, pull it through the gap in the frame. Yeah, there's not a lot of room on this LED to play with, but just enough. Okay. You're then going to set it across the post. Then using that thing I said you weren't supposed to use earlier. We're going to go ahead and clip this over the top. Pull down the LED. And then using a AM screw, right? Yep. Get that in there. Come on. There we go. And just get the LED positioned properly. I think I kind of figured out a way of doing this now. Get the bracket holder put in place. Fit the LED where you want it. And then tighten it down. Just like so. Okay. I was like, where is it? So much going on the saucer these days. All right, excellent. Those two are through and done. Very, very cool. Okay. So I just went through and checked all my instructions. That's going to be it for the saucer section for today. So there we are. We got our next frame put on. and ready to go to assemble the stages that I've pretty much already put together. So let's go ahead and get this off to the side and move back onto, carefully set it in its box. As we move back onto our engineering section, which is going to be very cool here, and fix the LED that I very mistakenly thought was going to do what I thought it was going to do. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab, this is the part where the photon torpedo launcher is, the rear photon torpedo launcher. So we're just going to go ahead and flip this over, and then grabbing our reflector piece, it is going to fit in just like so. So there's 3 interesting little screw sections here. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Excuse me, 4. Okay. And what we're going to do, we go ahead and plug in the LEDs. Now, what I'm actually going to do here, and I have found that on the other side, basically in the Cobra head, I found that when I took out the window piece, like this one, the clear acrylic window piece, it wasn't holding the LEDs in place so well. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get the LEDs put in place first, then hold them down with a bit of magic tape. There we go. Excellent. So just like that. Okay. Now, bending up, like so. Go ahead and get that. Fixed into place. And then using 4 BP screws. Oh yeah, I definitely magnetized this. Get it tightened down. All right, there it is. Our first reflector on the engineering section itself is put in place. And yeah, these LEDs just don't like staying in. So what I'm going to do is kind of take a little strip of this. And just kind of hold it down in place. Just like so. Just to ensure that they don't move until we install it. And there we go. That, my friends, is stage 71 complete. That was a lot of work, actually. I gotta say, I wasn't expecting it to be that much work, but it was. There's stage 71 complete. Let's move on to 72 and quickly get together a hull panel section, just like we've done 100 times now. All right, so I went ahead and kind of popped open the package a little bit and a little bit more, just as I needed to get all my escape pods processed and ready to go. So as I grab my aluminum tape, which we're going to need here for the escape pods themselves, there we go. Let's go ahead and get the rest of our parts out. So to process these, I simply just remove them from the sprue, and then there's a tiny little tab on the top and bottom of each one of these. I went ahead and just removed those using my hobby knife. We have our hull panel section, which has already been resined, and I went ahead and colored them in with the the yellow marker there. We have some BM screws, and I think 2, 4, 6, 8. These may be for this one. No, I don't think so. Let's take a look at our section here. As always, I'm following along with Todd's build at myenterprised.com. And it could be BP screws. No. There should be AM screws. AM and DP, of which they're probably in the bottom of the box. Okay, let me grab some AM and DP screws. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Got my proper screws. Oh, it's so funny. All right, so let's go ahead and get the rest of the package opened up here, and it's going to be just some reflectors and light blockers and what have you. So let's go ahead and get all the rest of this out. All right, packaging is taken care of. These here are going to be the backs. They're going to fit right back behind all the escape pods here. Some windows that we don't need to use. Very, very cool. We have our phaser strip. And then the one reflector to go back behind the window. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the instructions. And we're going to go ahead and start by getting all of our escape pods put in place. And we're going to put them with the red line facing down. Of course, I'm going to be putting the Mike Lane dry transfers on here. But until then, I do want them to look uniform because I'm going to have to look at the model until then. That's going to be a lot of dry transfers. That will not be an episode, I can tell you that right now. That will be a live stream event. All right. Our last one's put in place. Excellent. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab some aluminum tape here. And go ahead and start with a strip. Oh, yay, big. There we go. Cut it off right about there, which will be perfect for the corner one up there. And I'm going to go through and using my aluminum tape, I'm going to go through and cover up all the sections, but I'll show you guys what I'm doing here. I prefer aluminum tape here over electrical tape now at this point, as this is much stickier. And all we're going to do, cover up our escape pods, press down, and really seal in from around the outside, just like so. I'm going to go ahead and take care of the rest of them. I guess I could show you this top one here. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and take care of the rest of them, but this is going to go up right here in the corner. That little piece cut off at the end. And I will be right back. All right, our last piece is going down. Getting it wrapped around the outside of these screw holes so we don't obstruct anything. All right. There we go. Holds them down and flush and nice against the hole there. So we're all taken care of. Excellent. Let's get all our trash put out of the way. Get the sharp things off the desk, as I like to stab myself from time to time, and it's not fun. All right. All cleaned up. Good to go. Excellent. So now, very simply, we're just going to go ahead and roll through and grab all of the individual pieces. So we'll start with this one here, and it's going to fit right here. Let's get them all fit into place. Yep. And then the big boy is going to go down here. No. Just like that. That's weird. Yep, that's weird. Just saying, that's a little shaped funny, but hey, I'm not here to question. I'm just here to build. With the R facing up on this one. Put it in place just like that. Process of elimination. It's going to go right there. And then using 7am screws, I'm going to go ahead and get these put into place. All right, getting our final screws put in place here. And I got to say, you definitely need the 3-in-1 oil here. The reason you use that is it helps ease the threads of the screw through any excess paint. And I've noticed in these panels that there's a lot of excess paint. So it takes some screwing and some force, even with the 3-in-1 oil, which is kind of nutty. If I'm being real. Okay, there we go. They're now fully secure in place and fully light blocked. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the reflector here. And we're going to go ahead and set it across the top, just like this. Nope. Yep, I had it right the first time. Just like so. Okay. And then using 1am screw, I'm going to go ahead and secure that in place very carefully. And there we go. That's what that looks like from the other side. Okay. All right, and we're going to finish this off today. And we're just simply going to grab our phaser strip, put it in place, and then flip it over. And then using 4 of our DP or DM screws, excuse me. Are these DMs? What are they? I just know they're the last ones that I have. DP screws. Yes, we're not going into metal. Going into plastic. So, no 3-in-1 oil is needed. Phaser strip is basically installed. And for what I thought was going to be a relatively short recording session, as there wasn't a whole lot to do today, it turned out to be quite a long one. And that just seems to be the nature of this model a little bit. The further we get into the build, the more difficult it seems to be to do. So, and that's totally fine. It gets more complicated as we go. All right, so here is stage 71 and 72, or at least part of it. I do have to say that these turned out really good. I got to say, in addition to that, as we've gotten further along in this build, it's getting a little bit more complicated. And I just want to say thank you, Todd, for all the work that you do on MyEnterpriseD.com. Without it, dude, this would be a much more difficult build to do. So, big shout out to you, Todd. Thank you so much. And in the next one, we're going to go ahead and tackle stages 73 and 74, where we go ahead and get this panel put in place, along with, I believe, 2 more, and we get to get our head around a little bit more of the engineering section. So, that's what I got for you guys today. I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me, watching me build a model, and I think that's pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world where we happen to be. And just remember to always live long and prosper.